try to be as brief as I can. The shellers and seed group always ask me to give some timely advice for growers in relation to the seed and just getting this season off to a start. And it's kind of the same thing that we did in the previous one. It's just some things for you to think about and hopefully, not miss out on some opportunity to get this crop off to a good start. To begin with, I reiterate what Glenn Harris says. If we don't know what we're starting with as far as fertility, we really need to do so. No matter what you do, whether that's just a normal sample, random sample, a grid sample, or a soil series type sample, we need to be in the field and sampling. And this is very important, right? If we have short rotation peanuts, and if we go up in acres this year, that could become another problem. So we just need to make sure we know what's going on, what we're dealing with. Now, being here, we're talking about seed. The biggest thing for me right now is how do we maximize our stands? How do we get the best stands that we can so that we get this crop off to a good start? And there's several things here that, just want to reiterate that some of them are pretty, we talk about all the time, and then some of them, we just want to bring back up as we go along. We do know good quality seed is number one. I mean, that is the primary thing we're after. And the industry said, what? We're going to have the best seed ever, right? Not a single problem. I hope so. The problem is you can't bank on having perfect seed. All you can do is do everything you can to add to that seed and acknowledge that you do have a problem sometime and adjust it. Now, you see, just by picking a select variety variation, sometimes we have some varieties don't come up very quickly. That's called vigor, or in this case, sometimes they will catch up later. But again, the longer we have skippier stands, the more problems we have with what? Tomato spotted wilt virus. And so it's all about getting that seed in the ground and getting it out. If we plant early, we're cool and wet, guess what? We're trying to push that seed beyond its limits, and that hurts us. The other things, again, depending on the varieties, we've had to switch sometimes, and we can have problems. Do your best to ask your buying points to adhere. Again, these are simple facts we talk about all the time. Adhere to the first in, first out. But as you as growers, if you're picking up seed at different times over a month and a half period of time, try to plant that seed first. The one you got in first, plant it first. A few other things, know the germ of your seed. You don't know how to adjust unless you do know that. Don't leave that seed in hot, humid situations. If we're very hot and humid through this and you put them, and you don't take care of them or put them in a good well-ventilated, dry area in your shop or your shed, guess what? That seed's going to slowly absorb moisture and you can start to see that germ go down. So you got to watch that as well. I always say too, save a sample, put it in a cool place. If they don't come up, at least you can send them off and get a germ sample. That's something you can do very easily. All right. The biggest thing things that we don't talk about a lot is equipment setup. There's some of this that we set once and we go. We don't think about adjusting. Seeding rates, again, we're at 6 seed per foot for most part on singles, 7 to 8 on the combined twins for the most part. We're after a uniformly merged stand of at least 4 plants per foot. No big gaps. Again, you get some problems with setting depth sometimes. Irrigated, we're good. We got moisture, we can plant a little shallower. But if you're dry land, there's a point when we plant too doggone deep. You can't just drive those in the ground and hope you're going to get them out. Because guess what? If you have a low vigor seed and you plant them 3.25 inches deep, they may or may not come up. So it just depends. Again, we're somewhere around at 2.5. We've got to keep moisture on them. We've been in several irrigated fields where we just got behind. We planted them, thought we had moisture, but we were also 85 plus degree temps early, and we didn't come back to see if we run out of moisture or not. And we did with an irrigation pivot sitting there, so we got to be ahead of that too. Westwater, Scott Tubbs working on some things with downforce speed. Make sure our equipment's cleaned out, our inverter applicators. You can see things here. This is the test that we did. We planted everything twin and single row on this side. Our guys at the expo were in a hurry. Come out here. We were planting at 3 miles, 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. They were planting at 4 to 4.5. Skippy stands just because of speed. Know that we're adjusting and the capabilities of our planters. You know, this is an irrigated field where we were, 85 degree soil temps at this time, and we were extremely dry. They planted in dry dirt and they irrigated out of a cold well. You know, and it shocked those peanuts. They come up over a month period of time. A lot of fires showed up, so we got to be aware of that. Again, simple things, inoculant tubes not being cleaned out. We go out and this caused us to spend a little money because we had so much erratic inoculant failure there. Another thing we've had in the past, we're putting a lot of stuff in fur. One thing that we never want to put in fur is in fur fertilizers of any kind. Whether it's a biological stimulant or whatever it is, if it's got a fertilizer-based product to it, if it's hot and dry for certain, or you have limited moisture, guess what? You're going to kill that seed. We had many, many acres like that a couple of years back when we were hot and dry. So watch that. Again, we don't get to see the good things. I'd love to come out and see a lot of that. We normally see all the bad stuff. I know this is not something that every grower has to deal with, but it happens. Again, tractor speed, Scott Tubbs shared me some of this, from 2.5 miles an hour to 3.9, 5.3, and 6.8. And you may say, well, I can live with that. Well, depending again how early you plant, how much virus you got, you might have an issue. And I think if I'm not mistaken, there were some overall growth differences among this as well. So just know what we're dealing with. Try to slow down if we can. The other thing is we've got these new planters. Some of them have downforce. Wes Porter and them working on that as well as Tubbs. And you can see in conventional tillage, if you don't have downforce right, whether it's a clay or sand, we're going to leave some seed that won't ever come up. Some of them on top, some of them too deep. Same way with conventional tillage. So you can see differences. These new planters, let's make sure we set them up right. And if you've got variations of your field, you might need to change up a little bit. That's the other thing we need to keep in mind as we go forward. And kind of the end with the plant date and seeding rate again, we always say late April to May 12th is our highest yield potential, but it comes at a risk. And just know that you got to protect against tomato spotted wilt. If you're going to do that, we say plant time. And again, they've already talked about this in our previous seminar. We won't talk about it much. Make sure the environment is right, 68 degrees or higher for 3 days with no cool snout. If you are cool and wet, you might want to put that in for a fungicide extra in there. Also know we got a lot of people pushing the envelope on seeding rates. And so when you do that, it's about $18 to $20 depending on what the seed count is per acre for every seed that you increase. And so, or seed per foot that you increase. And so we've got people that are pushing 8, 9 seed per foot. And we've gotten some preliminary data on farm now that are showing we're spending money we don't need to. And we're losing, not gaining at these high seeding rates for some situations where we're losing $30 to $40 to $50 an acre. So just be aware of that. And again, make sure you pick the right pesticides that you need. And hopefully we'll get a good start this year. That's all we can. I'm going to end with this one. Valerie, we had a lot of problems with Valerie because of rain last year. And I know a lot of people are a little discouraged with that. But guess what? It's still one of the best herbicides we have. And we're going to have problems, but Prosco has shown in the past we can have this kind of damage and not hurt yield. But just know that if you compound it with other things, or you have slow bigger seed or low bigger seed, or if you plant them too deep and various things happen, this is going to happen. Have us out there, let's take a look at them, and we can kind of tell you whether or not you need to just walk away and come back 2 weeks or whatever. We can help you out there. So there are a lot of things, again, I'm not going to mention all of them, all of them pretty simple. If we plant too shallow, that's a problem. If we plant, then don't irrigate until the last minute. We get behind. If we don't put Valor out until they start to emerge, we're going to have problems. So they talked a little bit about that all in that other session. I won't reiterate those, but again, we got to do what we can to help get this seed out of the ground and get started. And the less effect that we have on that seed, the better we are. So do everything you can. And with that, I'll end or open up for questions, whatever y'all might need. Okay, thank you.